there everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Carrie, Mayj here, and thanks for tuning in again, Mayflower Army. I appreciate it. Before we get started with the video, like always, give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it, share on social media with your friends, and last but not least, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you're notified every time I upload a video just like this one. So after the last video, I dug way deeper than I thought I was going to into that one, but I'm glad I did. First time I talked about it. But anyways, enough about that. If you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. It's a video about Chestnut Ridge. So, this video... Pop didn't agree with me. But anyways, so in this video... As I was saying, in this video... Sorry, I got a little brain fart there and forgot what the topic of the video I was going to record is. But, in this video, I'm going to be talking about... I'm not going to go... This one's probably not going to be too long, but yet again, I say that about every video, and some of them go almost an hour. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I feel about people, like, with mispronouns after I've been 2+ years into my transition. So, to this day, there's still people who get my pronouns wrong. They may not be people I see all the time, but there's still people who have... Sorry, I'm trying to fix my tank top. There's still people who have gotten the pronouns wrong, who still, to this day, get the pronouns wrong. Like, they'll still slip up and say he or him, and it irks me so much. Okay, so the only exceptions I make in this day and age with mispronouns are my grandparents, my grandpap, and my grandma. My gram very seldomly slips up these days. Every once in a while, she'll slip up, but she automatically corrects herself. My grandpap, he didn't talk to me for a very long time. For about 2 years, he didn't speak to me, and then this past March, we finally came to terms where he doesn't acknowledge me by pronouns. I kind of wish he did, but I'll take what I can get because he's my only grandfather left, regardless of how much I see him. And then my grandma, she's the same way. She'll acknowledge me by pronouns, but if she slips up, she automatically corrects herself. So, like I said, there's only 3 exceptions, but to anyone else, whether you're a friend, it shouldn't matter regardless how much I see you. It's just, to me, it's a thing of respect. Yes, if you knew me before my the people I'm talking about, they knew me before my transition, but after my transition, just get the damn pronouns right. Like I said, for the first couple months, and for part of the first year of my transition, I was a little lenient just because, at first I wasn't. At first I immediately wanted everyone to accept it, but then I had to think about it. It was a big change for a lot of people, so I tried to be a little lenient with, mispronouns, and, I would correct them myself, or if they slip up every once in a while, I would try to if it was, once or twice, I would try to let it slide, but if it became a regular thing, then obviously I would address them about it, and, I'd automatically correct them about it. But what inspired this video was recently, within the last week, I saw somebody I hadn't seen in a while, and we were talking about we were talking about some stuff, and they slipped up and said he, and then they corrected themselves afterwards. But it took them a minute. They finished their conversation, and then they corrected themselves. They didn't immediately correct themselves, and it irked me a little bit, just because, like I said, if this was still the first month to 6 months of my transition and whatnot, then I'd understand a little bit. Or even within the first 8 or 9 months, if you weren't somebody who saw me on a regular basis. But I'm 2+ years into my transition. There's absolutely no reason, unless you're one of my grandparents, that you should get pronouns wrong. You have me on social media. You know I have a YouTube channel. You know who I am. You know who I used to be was never who I was. It was just a lie I lived for 19 years. You know how much it bothers me, because I've talked to you about it before. I'm kind of addressing this person directly, but this is also just an generalization. To anybody who just gets my pronouns wrong, or any other trans individual, after they've been on their transition for so long, it's just a mispronoun thing. It gets ridiculous. it's not hard to, like I said, within the first couple months, sure, it's difficult for some people to get used to pronouns, but after 2+ years, even if you don't see them very often, you still know about their transition, and you know that you have plenty of time to get used to it, whether you see them every day, whether you don't see them for a year. Just have some decency, have some respect, have common courtesy. Don't be disrespectful, even if you don't. Some people, like with mispronouns, they mean it, and like some of them just don't care to correct themselves, and others they may correct themselves, but it's still just a matter of fact that it's been 2+ years. Like I said, I'm not nearly as lenient now as I used to be because, again, as I've said many times in these 5 minutes of this video, there's no use for it. There's absolutely no logical reason, at least to me, why you should get pronouns wrong and why you should, like, yeah, it irks me to no end. So, if you're somebody who gets pronouns wrong, have some decency, have some respect, work on yourself a little bit, don't be disrespectful, because whether you think you're being disrespectful or not, it's very disrespectful to the individual who you're addressing as the mispronouns. Because, like, regardless how far I am into my transition, no matter how much I say, some things don't bother me. Sometimes they still do, just a little bit. And that's one of them. Like I said, I don't get the mispronouns very much at all. And when I do, it's usually my grandparents. And I just, like I said, they're the only exceptions I make these days. But even they don't make the mistakes nearly as much as some other people do. Whenever I see them. Like, when people do get mispronouns wrong with me, even, like, 2 years in my transition, it, like, makes me question myself, and just makes me question, like, am I not doing a good job? Am I, not passable enough? Am, like, I doing something wrong? Should I try to switch something up? So, like, like, I get over it after a little while, but it's still, like, it takes a little bit of, like, a toll on my, self-esteem just a little bit, and just, like I said, it makes me question myself. So, and I'm sure there's other trans individuals out there that would agree with me on that one. I mean, not everybody's the same way, but sorry, throat's getting a little dry after that last video, 40-some minutes. But, yeah, guys, just have some common courtesy, have some decency, have some respect when it comes to pronouns. If you do get them wrong, correct yourself automatically, and at least apologize. And don't let it happen multiple times while you're hanging out, or while you're seeing that person. Like, somebody I saw recently, like I said, they got the pronoun, got my mispronouns wrong, used the wrong pronouns multiple times while I saw them, and while we were hanging out for the short time we did. And it just irks me. So, alrighty guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, a little bit of ranting. But, it was some deserved ranting, a little, like I said, something that irks me just a little bit. More than a little bit, obviously, but alrighty, hope you enjoyed this video, and like I always say, thank you, Mayflower Army, I appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye, guys.